What you got?
This one's coming from true off my chest. I missed my best friend's funeral because my husband had a panic attack and I am racked with guilt. My best friend died a long, drawn-out death. She was in a conscious but vegetable state for the last 6 months of her life, and in selfishness, I saw her only twice in the last 6 months. I guess it was too hard to see her like that. I feel like a bad friend, which only makes the situation worse. My husband has major manic depressive episodes. We were trying to work on it with couples counseling, meditation, mindfulness, etc. It's up and down, but his mood has been especially worse leading up to this event. I was a driver on the way to the funeral. An argument started and he asked me to pull over and he would take an Uber home. Before I knew it, he was having a panic attack, thrashing in the seat, stomping on the floor, and slapping his face. I pulled over on the freeway, but he was yelling I had to keep driving or we will be late. I tried to calm him down, but he was yelling and screaming and hitting himself, oscillating between how he wanted to die and how if we didn't go, he knew I would resent him forever. He ran out of the car and down the freeway screaming. Once I got him back in the car, he was crying for his mommy and still saying that we were going to the funeral. Obviously, I couldn't go to the funeral with him like that. I called his mom and she said she will meet us back at our house. I took him home. He was panicking that I will hold this grudge against him forever, and even though I assured him his mental health was my priority, I knew I was lying. His mom calmed him down and then left, and I took him to the doctors. I missed my best friend's funeral. I know I should have seen her more while she was still with us, and I know I should be supportive of my husband's mental well-being. Attending her funeral was supposed to be the least I could do, and I missed it. I was a shitty friend in her last days and a shitty friend in her death. I am eaten alive with guilt. The guilt is a horrible, burning feeling in my heart and is consuming me. I lied to my friends about why I didn't make it to the funeral. I don't know why I lied. My husband finally agreed to go to his own individual therapy. He started back up with practicing gratitude and exercising, probably some other things, but I don't even care anymore. He knows something is up, but I feel like I can't say what's going on because it would overwhelm him with guilt he doesn't need. My mother-in-law called me and said, I know you were sad you missed your friend's memorial, but she was probably your guardian angel that day, guiding you to help husband. I just sat and said nothing.
Jeez, from bad to worse. When it rains, it fucking pours in thunderstorms.
Yeah.
I will say, though, like in the middle of the story, she says that his health is the priority, and I know I lied. And she feels guilty for missing the funeral. But she feels guilty for missing the funeral because she didn't really go visit her friend for the past 6 months. So she kind of created her own
make it up.
Guilt.
Yeah.
And that's not her husband's fault.
I agree.
This like mental health, that sounds a wild breakdown that I can't even comprehend. But I will say that it sounds like she does blame her husband for missing her funeral. But that's kind of her own fault because she put so much on the funeral as her last chance because she refused to go see her for the past 6 months.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think going to the funeral was her final way of making up for the time that she missed with her in the last 6 months. So she had so much riding on that.
Yeah, she put the pressure there
on herself
because of her own previous actions.
And then it was just an unfortunate timing that her husband had this very
panic attack,
this terrible panic attack. And yeah, like, unfortunately, like, this is a really terrible situation, but I don't think I would hold it against you. Like, he didn't choose to do that. Like,
yeah, no, it's tough because she does, and
she needs someone else to blame.
She needs someone else to blame because who accepts responsibility? Nobody accepts responsibility. Yeah. In the generalness of the world, we always want to put the blame on somebody else to ease our own conscience, and very rarely do people take the responsibility for that. And that's kind of what she did, whether she realizes it or not. She put a lot on that funeral because of her past 6 months' actions.
Yeah, I agree. There is a couple of edits here. Edit 1. Sorry, I myself was using the phrase panic attack. He didn't call it that. I thought it was one, but now I know that's not what it was. He himself called it a nervous breakdown. Edit 2. I don't know if it matters, but the argument we were having was that he wasn't feeling well and he asked how long the funeral was going to take. I said he didn't have to come if he wasn't well, but say so now before I go on the freeway. He said I was picking a fight with him for asking a simple question, and it developed from there.
It sounds like they have more marital issues that they can't even have a conversation without turning into a fight.
And again, I think this goes back to like her trying to make up for the last few months. Like she was in her head, I think she was like planning on staying there the whole time.
She had a lot riding on it
to show her condolences.
And who are you showing it to? Because like
I don't know, family.
She's gone. Like you should have been there for the last 6 months.
Yeah. Edit 3. Again, I used the wrong wording. My husband isn't bipolar, just regular depression and anxiety. I use the word manic as an adjective in that he gets maniacal, but not manic depressive disorder. Sorry, that was my fault.
So it sounds like he just went a little crazy. I mean, who gets out of a car and starts running back down the freeway if you're not having a little bit of a crazy moment?
Yeah. I'm not a therapist, not a psychologist or anything, but it does sound like a manic episode to me. I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't mean like crazy and like crazy. I just mean like crazy and like could be a variable of things. And I don't really know how else to describe it. It seems kind of like not normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Top comment. OP, I think your husband's needs might be above your pay grade. This behavior is beyond what you should deal with, and you will grow to resent him over this and other things he makes you miss.
Yeah, she will. And like I'm saying, I don't think her resenting him over this is even his fault. I think that's a her problem. I think that's a her issue that she needs to self-look back on.
Yeah. Yeah, this one was tough.
That's wild. Yeah. It rains, it pours there.
Yeah.
Do you want to like go again?
Should I?
Because like mine was so long. I feel like nobody's heard your voice this episode.
I know, right? I've been quiet over here.
Yeah, I'm like raw over here.
You were talking for like 45 minutes.
But you guys enjoyed that, right?
Okay, I'll go again.